Hi, this is Holly with Presence Point, and I've been spending a little time in the minor prophets lately. I'm reading through Jonah, Micah, Nahum, and Habakkuk. And although sometimes these prophetic books can be difficult for us to understand, there's something about the book of Jonah that I love. Maybe it's because we're hearing less of the prophecy and much more about the person. And so we see here in Jonah, the first 4 verses, just this richness of this book. Let me read that to you. Now the word of the Lord came to Jonah, the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and call out against it, for their evil has come up before me. But Jonah rose to flee to Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. He went down to Joppa and found the ship going to Tarshish. How convenient. So he paid the fare and went down into it to go with them to Tarshish, away from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord hurled a great wind upon the sea, and there was a mighty tempest on the sea, so that the ship threatened to break up. I stopped right there and I thought, okay, what power there is for us as shepherd leaders and for us as sheep of the Good Shepherd that we need to learn there. You know, number one, my first note was, it's never a good idea to walk away from the Lord's presence. And I have to tell you, I do it consciously, just like Jonah did, although I like to not admit that, but it's true. Number 2, there will always be negative consequences for us and potentially those we love and care about when we leave God's presence. Because we leave behind us a wake and often a mess, right? But that's always true when the sheep leave the shepherd. Whether it's Shrek, and you might have heard of Shrek in one of our workshops, that hid in a cave away from his shepherd for 6 years in New Zealand, or whether it's us who hide sometimes from God for years and years or half a lifetime. The third thing I loved about these first 4 verses, God gives us a choice to obey. He didn't force Jonah to do what he wanted him to do. He gave them the option. The next thing is that God doesn't miss it when we walk away from his presence. He doesn't look the other way and ignore it. If we're a sheep of his, if we're a child of God, he's paying attention and he knows. So don't fool yourself, shepherd leader, if you think, I'm kind of messing up a bit, but it'll be okay, because he does know. The fifth thing I learned there is that God doesn't stop loving us as we walk the other way. He goes to find the one sheep, right? The one lost one, whether it's Jonah or us. And the sixth thing, just from those 4 verses, God will get our attention. He loves us just like a father loves his children, and he'll discipline us the same way. Go to Hebrews 12, we know that, right? So a couple of things to remember from this for us as shepherd leaders. One is we have to stay connected to the Father. We've got to stay connected to the Good Shepherd. If we don't, too much can happen negative, just not for us, but for our families, our work environments, our children, the people we love and care about the most, even our business associates. And I think also for us to take away is we cannot hide from God. Jonah could go deep into that boat. He could go all the way to the bottom, which is where he went. We'll find out later as we do that chapter in another time. But he can hide at the bottom of the ship. God still knows he's there. And the captain of the ship came to find him and say, who are you and what's going on that we have this horrible mess happening with us? So praise with me today that Jonah found himself out of that ship, although it was into a great fish, but ultimately to Nineveh. And praise with me today that we can find ourselves out of the bottom of that ship. Whatever place we're hiding in, whatever place we're walking away from God's presence, whatever the reason is, we can find our way back. He's waiting. He knows we're there. Just look up and ask him, Father, I'm here. Thanks for loving me. Thanks for giving me the choice. And please forgive me for walking away. I pray this word from Jonah helps you live deeply into your calling this week, no matter who you shepherd or who you influence or who you impact, children, employees, volunteers, no matter where it is. And I pray that you have a wonderful week. Take care.